Hi, this is Gabe from the AcuraLegend.com forums, and today I'm going to be showing you how to install a Ford Taurus cup holder into your G1 Legend. The Ford Taurus cup holder mod is a mod that's been around for a while, and pretty much what it does is we utilize the cup holder and coin tray from a 90s Ford Taurus, and we install it in the space that's left over when we install a DIN size radio into our cars. And most aftermarket kits will come with like a little plastic pocket or just a block off plate for that space that's left underneath. And I think a cup holder and a coin tray are much better utilization of the space. So that's what we'll be doing. It's not a very hard mod to do. You will have to modify this unit itself as well as the console from your car. But it's nothing too difficult and it's very easy to do. So that's what we'll be doing today. Okay, so for this job you're going to need some pretty basic tools. Phillips and slotted screwdrivers, a couple of different files, and if you can get your hands on one, a Dremel, or in this case a Dremel-like tool. This is a cheap knockoff, but with the sanding bit here and the high-speed motor, it'll make this job that much easier and get the job done that much quicker. So if you can get your hands on one, even better. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to have to remove the stereo and the bezel surrounding it from the car. And the way to do that is there's two screws up here, two screws on the side here, and two screws under the ashtray here on 86 and 87 Legends like mine. If you have an 88 to 90 sedan or any two-door, the screws will be in the same places, but in addition you'll have to also remove the screws from the sides of this center console. I think there's 4 or 6 on the sides, and then there's a couple more on the inside of the center armrest compartment that you have to remove as well. There's also a black trim piece on the shifter that'll just pop out. It's in with clips, so just keep that in mind. There are differences throughout the years. Okay, so once you have your radio and the surrounding console removed, you're going to put it on a workspace, and you're going to want to remove the stereo and this mounting bracket that's on here. Okay, so once you have those pieces removed, you can do an initial test fitting of the cup holders, and right away we'll see that this does not completely fit yet. It's not at all flush, and we don't have a head unit in here yet, but a cage for a head unit wouldn't even fit yet because this is just a little bit too tall. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to have to trim the sides off of here, as well as the top and the bottom, so that way it fits a little bit better. It'll sit in there flush, real nice looking, and it'll also allow for a cage for a head unit to go in there as well. Another thing that we're going to have to do here is we're going to have to cut off these little legs that protrude out the back of the Ford Taurus cup holders, as well as this little track guide. They're really just taking up space, and we need to get rid of them. These legs, when you cut them off, just cut them flush right here with the very back of the unit. And it's not going to affect the way that the unit works. It's not going to break it or anything. They're really just taking up space in the back that we're going to need anyhow. So you can use just a hacksaw blade or something real simple to cut those off. It only takes a few minutes. Very easy to do. Okay, so this is probably the step that's going to take the longest for you, but you want to take your time, do it right, don't want any waves or any uneven spots in the sanding. You want it to look nice, so just take your time with it. Another thing I wanted to point out, these lock tabs that are on Ford stuff, we're going to go ahead and leave those on because they fit perfectly into the hole that we have already for the stereo. So it's going to go in there and it's going to lock in, and it'll keep it nice and steady. And you won't really need to mount it anyway from the back. These will be doing all the holding for you. So while you're doing your sanding, you're going to want to have the console nearby, so you can do test fittings to see how much more you have to sand, how much further you have to go. And so in this case, we're already pretty much done. As you can see, nice job, nice and flush. So once you get to that point, you can go ahead and start test fitting the stereo cage to see how much further you have to do. If your cage still doesn't fit, one thing that you can do is you can continue to sand off of the top and the bottom of this unit, but you can also sand a little bit off the top and the bottom of this console altogether, and that'll help out a little bit more. And once you get it to the size that you need it, make sure that it's big enough so the cage isn't being squished and putting pressure on the top and the bottom of the head unit. That would be a bad thing. And also, if there's too much pressure being put down onto this unit, the trays won't come out correctly. So just keep that in mind. You want to have enough space so they can freely move. Another thing, if you're going to be using a wood console, you're really going to want to put masking tape all around this nice wood here so that you're not messing it up. For the plastic ones, you could do that too. It's just that for the wood, you're going to want to be extra careful about those things. Okay, so this is what your finished product should more or less look like. The cage should fit in snugly into the spot, but not really applying pressure down onto the head unit, nor should it be putting pressure down onto the cup holders. And you should then go ahead and bend these tabs into place when you have it in the position that you want it to be in. And the next step would be to put the head unit in and see how it fits. Okay, so there you have it, your finished product. You have your head unit installed up here, and you have your nifty little coin tray, and your cup holders. Now these cup holders will hold drinks, small size drinks, pretty much anything about the size of a soda can or a smaller water bottle. Okay, so once you have everything all said and done, you can go ahead and start reassembling everything into the car. You'll also notice that I went ahead and did away with the factory bracket that goes across the back. This really, you'd have to cut away at that bracket to make this fit nice and comfortably. So rather than doing that, I'm just going to mount it a different way. There's plenty of other spots that you can mount onto behind this console. And there are other ways to make it so that you cannot possibly steal the stereo also. And I always do that. I loved having that bracket here. It was nice and heavy duty, and you can mount to that and make it very, very tough to steal a stereo. So once you have everything ready, you can just start reassembling.